G'day and welcome to another pen review with the Eccentric Electrician. Today I'll be reviewing another vintage pen. Got this one here, it's the Parker Vacumatic. I'm sure many people have seen these around before. They've normally got a beautiful coin stack celluloid design. They were bought out I think about 1933 and they came in various colours and designs, and I think there was about 5 or 6 different sizes as well. I believe this is the standard size. There was also one smaller under it and about 3 larger versions. They use a Vacumatic system as their name entails. They've actually got a diaphragm in here. You push down, stick it in the ink and let go, and it sucks the ink up via a vacuum system. They're quite a nice pen. I picked this one up off Payton Street Pens. Good to deal with them, and I quite like this pen. I picked it up primarily because I've got a thing for celluloid and I love the coin stack design. Very similar to with the Visconti Wall Street that I have. Except the Wall Street's red, this is a pearl colour, but it's still quite a nice pen. Alright, so to the review. I've got a black jewel on the top there. Comes down, you got your Parker arrow clip with the little blue diamond at the top there. It's a small clip, it's got a little bit of spring to it. It's nothing real special, but it looks nice on the pen. You've got your celluloid cap with the holes in either side for the breathing. You've got a silver band around the middle, which just has like a bunch of arrows and patterns in it. Then you've got your just tapered barrel. It's quite a small pen, but that's alright. And then obviously you have your blind cap, which unscrews with your filler here, which is quite nice. That's all quite smooth, hard to feel where the threads are. You unscrew the cap. You've got this beautiful two-tone nib, which I'll show in the writing sample. Quite a small nib, but it's got a gold arrow surrounded by silver around the outside, and I quite like that. Threads, you can barely feel. I hold it higher up and I actually hold part of the threads anyway. Doesn't really bother me at all, it just helps me hold on to the pen. Obviously uncapped, you can see it's quite a small pen to use. I wouldn't really use it uncapped. I cap it and it turns it into a decent sized writing pen. You can see that that's quite usable. The grip here comes down, it's quite a short grip and quite a narrow grip as well. I don't know many people that would actually use it like that, but I guess if you had smaller hands you would. I need to hold it further back. This one has a semi-flex nib on it, which I'll show in the writing sample, which is quite nice. You can tell because the tines obviously open up a little bit when you write. Like I said, quite a small pen, and this celluloid is absolutely beautiful. But the size dimensions of this pen are 120 millimeters capped, 112 millimeters uncapped, so it's quite small. That's from the tip of the nib to the tip of the barrel. So 112 is quite small. Posted, it becomes a much more usable 136 millimeters. The grip diameter here, where it goes down to the smaller section before it flares out again, is 8 millimeters, and the barrel goes up to 11 millimeters. The weight with the cap is fairly light. It's only 11.5 grams, and without the cap, it's a very light 7.8 grams. Quite a nice pen, this one. Looks great in a collection. They're not particularly expensive. Obviously it differs depending on whether you get it restored or whether it needs restoring in the condition that it's in. But I quite like this one. It's a nice little pen to stick in your pocket. Bring it out. The nib looks gorgeous as well. These two-tone Parker nibs are very nice. And I quite like this pen as well as a vintage. The filling system works quite well. It sucks up a decent amount of ink. And yeah, alright. So we'll get to a writing sample and I'll show you what it can do. Cheers. Okay, so this is a writing sample for the Parker Vacumatic. I'll try and show you the nib. There we go. So you can see it's a bit hard to see with this light and camera, but you got your arrow in the middle, which is a gold color. Underneath it you got Parker USA. It's quite a nice looking, a very attractive nib. I'll show you how this system fills as well. I didn't have any ink in it because I'd used it all up already. But basically, you take off your blind cap, you press it in, you put it into your ink, and you let go. You leave it there for a second or two, and you can take it out. You just need to clean it off. It should be good to write. Alright. So this is the Parker Vacumatic with a fine semi-flex. This nib is quite smooth. Obviously being so fine, you do get a little bit of feedback, but that's not too bad. The ink is Parker Quink. Oops. Blue. Bit of a writing sample. There we go. Show off a bit of the line variation. Like I said, it's a semi-flex. Gives you a bit of line variation there. Not a great deal, but enough you can embellish if you really want to. Obviously it's fairly wet nib. You know, it's quite a wet nib. Obviously Parker Quink's a bit wetter anyway. The feed, nib. They keep up quite well. Doesn't skip or have any other issues. Bit of quick writing. Obviously not trying to be legible, just more to show that it can keep up. It's quite a nice nib like that. Reverse writing you can with this one. I don't normally show reverse writing. That's mainly because most pens can't do it. They're either too sharp or the feed doesn't work or something else goes wrong. But it goes from a fine to probably an XX fine. As you can see there, it's quite a big difference. But yeah, quite a nice pen. Really nice to write with. Obviously there is a bit of noise, but that doesn't actually, you don't feel that back on the pen itself when you're writing. It's just a bit of noise. Quite a nice pen to write with. I quite like these. You know, when I first saw it and first got it, I thought, oh, it's a bit short, a bit small for me. But it's posted, it's actually quite a nice pen to write with. As you can see, that's the reason why I love this pen. That pattern is gorgeous. I like how it shimmers like that. And yeah, the writing, and then the nib is quite a beautiful nib as well. I'll show that again. Yeah, definitely worth a buy. If you see one of these for a good price, I might even show that band around there if I can. It's a bit hard to see. Oh, so yeah, if you can pick one up for a good price, I'd probably recommend it, especially in these celluloids and beautiful coin stack celluloids. Alright, so I hope that's helped and given you some ideas. Goodbye.